The world is a global village.
And that's because information travels beyond boundaries.
And on This Morning on ITV,
we guarantee unbiased analysis on topical issues
that will educate you,
entertain you.
So join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Every Sunday to Thursday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your ultimate news and current affairs program on television, This Morning on ITV, TMR. Join us. Quite a whole lot happening at the same time, and you're just wondering where would you want to start, or where can you start? Anyhow, we start, we'll get the show off the ground, we'll get the discussion off the ground, we'll get the conversation off the ground. Okay, I have with me in the studio two gentlemen. We're expecting a third to join the discussion. Let me first and foremost welcome the erudite Barrister Adams Aliyu. Barrister Adams Aliyu is a constitutional lawyer and also a notary public. Barrister Adams Aliyu, many thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much.
We also have joining us Comrade Harrison Izeko. Comrade Harrison Izeko is a civil society activist. Harrison, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
We're expecting Pastor Collins Okonofwa, who gave us his words, that he'll be here to join us any moment from now. Okay, let's begin with our first segment of discussion, which centers around 2019. Now, generally speaking, it looks like activities and alignment, realignment ahead of 2019 seems to have taken over the space, taken over the political space, the economic space, the social space, the religious space, the agricultural space. Just name the space that hasn't been taken over, I will tell you you're definitely wrong. Barrister Adams Aliyu, I know you had a short stint in politics. What is the import of this for us as a nation?
Well, because of democracy, which is now getting stabilized in Nigeria, politics, governance is the engine. People want to partake directly or indirectly. Directly, if you are contesting, but indirectly, if you are using your vote to decide who you. And 2018 is the determining year. Forget about the fact that the election is February next year. Registration of voters, organization of primaries, campaigns, preparation of manifestos, everything has to be done in 2018. So this is the year, and it is symptomatic to what happens in February. So, and the Constitution is there. You cannot add a day more than the tenure. INEC, in all fairness now, has improved by the day, giving us long range of time to prepare. So our parties can do many things, can field proper candidates can campaign. So I think it is good omen that people are getting involved, that there is politics in the air, in the sea, at land, everywhere. So it is better because we are all involved. Those people who are elected, we rule all of us. So no one should be marginalized or claim to be neutral.
Okay. Harrison, usually when this happens, I mean, governance is now at the mercy of this politicking alignment and realignment going on. What is the import of this in your opinion? Are the people not worse for it? Yeah.
You see, every election year, you should expect things like this. And our people are more aware now. They are more informed. Because of the present economic situation of the country, even religious leaders are even encouraging their members to involve in this politics. That there is no coven in that place, so that the right people can be elected. And even those who are the voters, more consciousness, go and register so that at the end of the day, if you do not like the system, you can use your vote to make a change. Over the years, Nigerians have pushed some set of persons who just decide that politics is their birthright. They determine what happened in the country. They recycle themselves. they make it so cumbersome that people should be afraid of coming in. And that have been a major problem. A situation whereby even the right people cannot get opportunity to go in because of the resources involved and all that. But what we are seeing now is gradually, changes are gradually coming in. Religious leaders are not interested. People are preaching in churches. I need to look at social media, see pastors preaching, encouraging their members to go into political offices, to go and register and cast their vote, so that at the end of the day, they should feel governance. They should be part of it. Because if you sit there, whoever that's in charge of the country, the policy they are going to be is for everybody. There is no separate policy for Christians or Muslims or even those who practice other religion. It is one policy, it is one government. So that is why they need to be what? Proactive and participate. And because of that, you are seeing some kind of, you look at see the whole thing is coming, you are seeing coalition here. Different people are coming with different groups to make sure that they get to the same time. And it is good for democracy. It's the beauty of democracy. It shows that we are advancing in our democratic system. And I believe that 2019 is going to be a year of victory. That God himself will have hand in it. And those who have been praying, it is time for them to manifest work. Because the Bible says prayer without work is dead. Our religious leaders believe in prayers. They are praying in the churches. But when you don't participate, the prayer will not move you from your church to go and put you in political office. It is time for you to show yourself and display what you have for the nation.
My concern is that, like it's always said, that at this point in time where politics is at its peak, particularly for a year heralding an election year, is usually, governance is left unattended to. And that means that the people will not get value for their votes in terms of the impact that is government is supposed to make on their lives. That's the point I wanted us to quickly interrogate by Adam Salim.
In the short run, people would think that those in position now, those that are governing now, they are now politicking. They are campaigning, and therefore governance will suffer. It is in bad faith to think like that, because the two go together. They go in pari passu. While you are a governor, for instance, or you are a sitting president, you have your itinerary, you have your programs. Governance is different from politicking. So they will render to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, that is government.
Well, it looks like at this point there is a fusion of governance and politicking. Yes.
Because on one hand you are governing, declare this open, cast your signature on executive bill, but there must still be time for campaign because they go in pari passu. It's like two sides of the same coin. So it will be in bad faith to accuse the sitting government of facing more of politics than governance.
All right. There is a talk around a proposal to have electronic transfer of election results. That proposal is already being considered by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and of course the National Communication Commission. To what extent will this impact on the 2019 election has become a subject of discussion by most analysts across the country. Today on the show, we're also joined the conversation by interrogating this proposal. Harrison, you've been conversant with conduct of election, particularly with innovations that midwife the 2015 election. What do you make of this as an innovation? What impact do you think this will have on election outcome in 2019?
Well, you see, Nigeria as a developing nation, I keep saying that we should do things that we have the capacity to do at this time. If you are going to transmit a voting result electronically and all that, is somebody that's still going to impute those results on the gadget. Is not going to push himself there. And for 2019, I see that it's not possible right now, because if the matter is still at the floor of the National Assembly and the election is February by year 2, we know the way our system works here. I believe, and I'm very sure, I'm optimistic that that cannot be possible in this very 2019 election. What is a welcome development if at the end of the day we'll be able to practice it the way it's supposed to be? Today, even on social media, elections are going on. People are putting their own personal result on social media. One is not even on ground. If I'm in so party, I know that we are losing in this place. I will just on my own put it there that we have won all the place. So some people face the result from the social media. At the end of the day, when the true result comes, they'll begin to tell you it's not true. We were just putting it there. That was not the situation on ground. These are Nigerians. These are the way they do things. The Nigerian man is so corrosive to the extent that that attitude of put it down syndrome is always there. They are not patriotic. An average American think American. He will not just sit down and begin to do what will bring bad name to the country. The Nigerians, we have not grown to those levels. But if that is the case, if INEC can come out with that, and they will be able to monitor, it's not just putting the everybody that's maybe the ruling party or whatever, those who have who can play the cards can decide to also put something there. At the end of the day, it is what you see on the electronic whatever that is displayed that people will still follow. It may not be the true situation. So those who will manage it, the Nigerians, the government, will still need to train ourselves, be patriotic to our country. The election is not do or die affair. Yeah. That we should report what happened at the polling unit. Because today, let's not deceive ourselves. The issue of pressure is still there. Our politicking in this country have not advanced to the extent that people see politics as do or die affair. But thank God for the current a president once said in this country that election is do or die affair. Rig it, let's go to court. It doesn't mean, because that is his own perception. But thank God that there is a drift from what it used to be gradually, not that it's perfect. So, for 2020 election, it is impossible to do that for now. Okay. Because that discussion we are seeing there will still take another close to 1 year. Because the way our legislators do their things, those who are supporting it, those who are fighting against it may even be a majority. At the end of the day, it might not work. But if it succeeds, I think it's good for our democracy, so there can be a true reflection of what actually transpired at the polling unit.
Brother Saliu, are there misgivings about these proposals on your part?
There should not be misgivings. In other jurisdictions, Europe, America, election is being done electronically, meaning spontaneous and instantaneous results. And we're already near it when people with their phones, social media, as he has observed, they send out fake results. We are not looking at that. Professor Yakubu Mahmoud, the professor of political science, absolute gentleman, has pledged to improve on the status quo ante. What was on ground, he has promised to improve it. He knows the timetable, and it is only for a National Assembly to lubricate and put their imprimatur on it. What are we talking about? Instead of Professor Jega, as he then was, reading out figures that this is the result for community A, community B, you just see it on the board. And with it, you can add and subtract. So reading out figures manually, analog-wise, will not be the form. That's what Mahmoud
is proposing.
Proposing that everything will be done electronically. Before he said that, he has the materials on ground. He has the paraphernalia, he has the men and materials. This is the judicial imprimatur that he now sent to the National Assembly. So I'm very optimistic that 2019 election will be an improvement on the status quo and will be the same thing. They do election in England, in France, in America. We're here within a few seconds, so there's no cause for alarm.
Okay, Harrison, you talked about the Nigerian factor. I'm sure that also includes the technical issues, the power issues, if we were to go ahead with this proposal. Yeah, can you throw more light along those lines?
You see, the reason why I raised it, even in the last election, in some areas, the card reader did not work. And this is a country where we don't have stable electricity. I went to Georgia a few weeks ago, I think last week. For those who want to, I took some people there to go and register. They said there was no light. There's no light even in the school. And the generator they were using at that particular time was not working. At that particular period, they cannot do anything. So now when we are coming up with ideas like this, we must be able to, we must understand that we have all it takes to actually run it. Take for example, if the day of the election, that this information are sent electronically, when they took over, you can see. In some areas, it can even be possible that there is blackout or true. Then people cannot actually view it. That does not mean that the idea is bad. Okay. I think like our leader said, it is good we build on what is on ground. That is what is obtainable all over the world in developed country. But just that in this country, those who don't want the system to run, it looks as if they are more than those who want it to work. As we are trying to come up with something good, people are fighting this seriously to make sure it will not work. And at the end of the day, they are doing it for their own selfish interest. Mind you, those who will want to pass that, some of them want to contest again. And some of them have looked at the drawing board, their constituency, that they are no longer on ground. That the only way they can succeed is to do it in the other way around. And they will not support the bill. That is the Nigerian mind. They look at the negativity aspect of it, the way we benefit them. If it's a situation whereby you just, the way the man came up, he had a right to just go ahead, we don't have problem. I am telling you, go and mark it. They will not pass that bill. Because they themselves, they want to contest. They are looking at their area. They are looking at what is going to come. How will this thing benefit
to me?
It is not going to benefit me. It will not work. They will not be their community.
But Senator Saliu says is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, sure.
Yes,
sure.
yes. But is this something that is feasible within the time that we have left for all the politicking, and then of course February election? Yeah.
What is the process of passing a bill into the law? First reading, second reading, third reading, committee stage, and so there is time. We should be optimistic. We should not always think of the negative side of things. It will be an improvement. So that, you remember the gas case. He was reading at a point in time, so I told him to stop. Don't read it again. Whereas if it was electronically manipulated, you just pay the results on the ground, and by times it's pasted.
At a time in the world where one of the biggest and maybe oldest democracies in the world, there are allegations of hacking into the system. So what I mean, isn't that supposed to be something of concern to us as a country?
Yeah, that is
yes, Bryce Adam Saliu.
No system is perfect. It's like some card readout did not work. Those are exceptional cases in a normal law situation. I cannot be used to generalize. Okay,
let me get your take on that, Harrison.
You see, even the election that brought in Donald Trump, there was also allegation that the hackers took advantage of it from the Russian and all that. You see, we don't have a perfect situation in Nigeria. The Nigerian situation is worse in the sense that the actors, the people that are involved, they don't have that mind of patriotism. They don't believe in the nation. They don't want Nigeria to work. So what they want is that how will they put themselves into power and make money for themselves and their own generation yet on board. And when you have people like that, who have that kind of mindset, it's only when the idea will be of benefit to them. That is when you see them begin to run. What about the bill that they have passed before today? The issue of INEC will conduct no government election, the issue of local government autonomy, are they been able to, as any of this, has it been sent to law? No. These laws have been passed. 1 year is going. We are expecting by now, we should hear that local government already have financial autonomy. All these things were just said by mouth, and it has been passed. They are waiting for the state assembly as we speak. Where are those? Where are we? So we should think the way the Nigerians do their things. I am talking about the part of the Nigerian way of system. But if they want to put their name in gold, they can actually do this within the space of 3 months, like Barrister said. Yeah. It's not a difficult thing, but the political way to do it. That ability, how will this thing benefit me? As I spoke to my brother, some of those are called the short in the National Assembly. They are already on their own, looking at the pros and cons of this bill. Because some of them have lost their integrity in their constituency. They know that the only way they can have the people there is to do it in a way, spend money and manipulate. And when you begin to transfer vote electronically, It gives advantage to the electorate, it gives advantage to credibility to the right person. Because they are the polling unit as they are doing the voting. Before you say Jack Robinson, it has gone.
Yeah.
You have gone global, people begin to count from there. Okay. It will be difficult for you to manipulate and ring. And for that, at this level, the people, the present group of leaders in National Assembly will not allow it to fly yet. And that is my perception.
Okay, let's leave that. If you just join us, it's still TMI Monday, just running through a wide range of issues across the country at the moment. Earlier last week actually, a federal high court in Abuja ruled that the Senate was in order in oversighting, okay, the nomination appointment of EFCC chairman, talking about Malam Ibrahim Magu. That has been a raging issue because he's been nominated 3 times or so by the executive, and the Senate have outrightly refused to confirm his nomination. Well, there are those who say the president can actually appoint without the Senate doing their own part of it. But from that High Court ruling, it seems to have settled the matter. But the question now is, what becomes the fate of the EFCC chairman against the stand of the Senate? That's what we'll bring in our panelists, particularly Barrister Adams Aliyu. This is one major issue that has been at the front burner. Twice or thereabout, the EFCC chairman has been nominated by Mr. President, and twice he's been rejected by the Senate. And now that the matter has gone to court and the ruling has come forth, what should be the way out in dealing with this issue?
Well, in Nigeria, people are very sentimental and moralistic over constitutional issues. The issue of appointments by the president, ratification by the Senate is a constitutional issue. There's a provision in the Constitution that before you appoint, when you appoint and nominate ministers, ambassadors, special office executive order, it has to be confirmed by the Senate as a constitutional issue. Then the issue you raised last week, court ruled, Abuja court ruled. It was a motion passed by a private Abuja colleague, legal practitioner. He took the Attorney General and the Senate to court over the capability to confirm nominees, specifically Magu. Attorney General and Senate were the parties. In any party, in any suit, there be a claimant, there be a defendant. Magu was not a party to the suit. He was not named to it as a person. EFCC was not a party named to it. Then the court looked at it and struck out the case that the person who brought the matter to court, a private legal practitioner in Abuja, had no local standing, had no raison d'etre to bring the matter ab initio to court. It was struck out. But for the avoidance of doubts, tangentially, what we call obita, just by the side, said that the president has right to nominate and the Senate has right to confirm. And you will remember that as of now, the Senate was not involved in the nomination and appointments in acting capacity of Magu. Senate was not consulted in the and right now is acting. It is to be confirmed now that it falls under the laws of political. And as you observe, the Senate has refused to confirm Magu once, twice, thrice. So the man continues to act. But in law, he cannot act in perpetuity. If ordinarily it was a tenure of 4 years or 5 years, if he acts for that 5 years, that would be all. And the judgment of last week cannot be binding on Magu as a person or EFCC as a party, because these were vicarious and tangential individuals. They were not mentioned in the suit. It was the Senate and Attorney General that were taken to court. So if you were not involved in any case, judgment cannot be passed in the High Court today now, and it will come and affect you. So Magu is not affected directly or indirectly. EFCC is not affected. The person who went to court was told that he had no local standing to bring the matter. Be that as it may, the president, and it was even on travelis for the Senate now to send a message to the president that, well, Magu, our court has ruled in our favor, send us another name. The Senate is not the one to solicit for the president to bring names to them. What the president is to do constitutionally now, he may not forward Magu's name again, or he will forward another name. If he doesn't forward Magu's name, Magu remains in acting capacity. And so many people have held acting capacity and performed. During military regime, people who ruled those states were called military administrators. They were not called governors. In the civil service, some head of service, and they were called director general. Later, they changed the nomenclature to permanent secretary. If so facto, what is relevant is the work that is being done. So the president, as a now converted Democrat, will not act unconstitutionally, and the Senate cannot force the executive the name to send to them, the name not to send to them. When a name is sent to them at the Senate, they have rights to either confirm or reject, but it does not nullify what is on ground. The person will continue to act at the position of the law.
Okay, very explicit, Comrade Harrison Ezekiel. What options are available in putting an end to this issue? Now there is a court ruling to that effect. Are there any options?
Well, I want to thank our legal luminary for the interpretation of that judgment, because our people have pushed it the other way around, and what we have been hearing is that court have ruled against Magu. He have explained that the person who took the matter to court have no local standing, as such, it cannot affect the two parties. But beyond that,
has the Senate been vindicated? Has the Senate been vindicated?
The law is there.
They have been vindicated.
Yes, the law says they have the power to do their job.
Yeah.
The legislator and the executive have their role. The constitution is very clear.
Okay.
You don't need to go to school or be able to interpret. They have their role. The president has the right to nominate. The Senate has the right to confirm. And these two must go together. It's a pity that the APC had majority in that Senate. But unfortunately, they are not in control. And the president is also from the same party. So why this Olabalu, why these issues? It shows that their party is not in control. It shows that there is a problem. There's a lacuna between the APC senators and the presidency. And this issue must be extreme, and so that it can be resolved for proper governance. I want to say on the part of the president, for me, sending Magu name back to the Senate, as a person, I will not be a party to it. We are over 170 million Nigerians. Magu cannot be the only person they have integrity on. Or even within the sector that we need to pick person. It should shop for another name, so that the country can move forward in a proper dimension. This fighting cannot continue, because the Senate is trying to give impression to the public that they are doing their work. They give some reasons why they will not confirm this man, and the presidency is saying no. This thing you are saying this man did not do, this is the person that I have, and it has been on ground for a long time. I want to say that for us to move as a nation, for the man to do his work properly, mind you, the man has been working all this while. He has been working, he's in the office. I don't think there's any other special thing we do when they confirm it than what they have been doing. So I want to, on my own, say that at this time, at this level, no need of the federal government trying to, okay, let's go to the court properly. Let him just send another name to the Senate. And the reason why the Senate are not going to, what they have refused to confirm Magu, maybe they will confirm the person is going to send. He is the president, and the Nigeria will move forward.
The reason is clear.
What reason now?
They don't confirm Magu.
Okay.
The Senate president himself was taken to court.
By Magu.
He didn't declare when he was governor. So many of the people there.
But was that the reason, or this is just your personal opinion?
Yeah, and it's understood, even though it's not manifested. So that is why many of them there, Magu is doing his work as CFCC, but has taken them to court. They go from Senate to go and appear in court, so they are not happy with Magu. So that's why they will not confirm Magu. And we will now be trespassing on the preserves of the president. to tell him that Magu has been disqualified. He has not been disqualified. He is doing his work in acting capacity. And he will continue to answer the name acting chairman EFCC. So that is where we are as the law provides. Any other name that is to be sent will have to be sent at the discretion of the president, who has the power.
Whenever I feel like.
Okay, but there's also a major issue surrounding this whole acting chairman status, Magu saga, which has been written against the background that the Senate relied on a report, that was published by a report that was sent to it by the Department of State Security on Magu. That was the basis for this non-confirmation of Magu. But Bryce Adams sees it otherwise, that because the Senate President is facing some allegations, some charges, this is the reason. I mean, how do we juxtapose this two?
When that report came up, when they sent the report, there was also, you can remember that they also investigated that report. At the time, it was clear that it was not the actual reflection of what happened. And they were also trying to retract whatever they have done. Like he said, in the Senate there, in this present assembly, Magu will never be confirmed. He will never be confirmed because the people that are there, he has stepped onto us in the process of doing his job, and the ones that are there are so afraid of this man.
But you're not referring to the DSS report on him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, you are saying that he has stepped on toes, making it look
the
like
DSS report that came. There was another conflicting one that was not the true reflection of the DSS report. That it didn't. That what they have said is not true. You understand? But because they have opportunity of picking that one first, they don't want to hide beyond the back of that report to not say that this is the reason why they are not confirming him.
So you don't see Magu being confirmed by EFCC chairman?
Not on this present National Senate. They will not do it. Because even the people that are there now, many of them are also afraid that when this guy succeeds, the president will also give him the leverage to also tackle some of them. Remember that most of them are former governors. They are skeleton in their cupboard. So for that reason, they will not want to confront somebody. Is that you are bringing a man with a gun to come and stand with you if you do this. By the time you give him the power, it will not start with you. So they will not give him the leverage. That is the Nigerian system. Everybody is protecting his own. If you're actually going there to do your work, we will not be here. Anything that comes to that floor, they first of all look at how will it be of benefit to them. If it's something that will be at disadvantage, they will not allow it to go. So if whether the APC or the PDP, most of the people that are there, some of them have been governors before, they have done so many things. So if they allow this thing, this man actually, and the way they are saying the man is somebody that had that boldness to actually do what he needs to do.
Okay.
So for that simple reason, they will not allow him.
Okay, so we'll keep our fingers crossed, as we say, and watch events as they unfold. But last week, we also saw the report that the CCT chairman has also been taken to court by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. There was also an allegation of about 10 million naira bribe to a bribe from someone who is an accused. So that matter is already in court, so we cannot talk along those lines. But our studio line is open, 052-290-573. You can dial the number from wherever you're watching across the world and be part of the conversation. Well, the dust generated by the famous letter by former President Olusegun Obasanjo to President Muhammadu Buhari not to contest the 2019 election is yet to settle. Today, we have another one, but this time not a letter, a press statement that is now a subject of discussion, a subject of controversy across the country. Former president, military president, talking about General Ibrahim Babangida, was alleged to have written a letter to President Muhammadu Buhari, also telling him not to contest a whole lot of issues affecting the country, and then the need to give opportunity to younger generation to pilot the affairs of Nigeria. As a matter of fact, digital leadership, that's what the report said. And that report was authored by his media aide, the former Commissioner for Information in those State, Prince Kazim Afebwa. But there's been a reaction from the general himself, who also said that that report did not emanate from him. And so today the question is, who actually authored the first report? All right? That's our next talking point on the program today. But we have our first caller online. The studio line is buzzing. So many people want to contribute to this discussion. But let me quickly get a buy-in from our studio panelists, Barrister Adams Liu and Harrison Izeko. Yeah. Is it a season of letters? And
for this
yes.
writing.
Okay, just hold on. Let me take our first call. Hello, caller. Good morning. Hello, caller. Seems to be having a serious challenge with the studio line. Yeah, Barrister Adams Liu.
As for this letter writing, which has become a phenomenon, it's very interesting, but it is normal to write letters as a means of communication. If you flash back to the former president of Obasanjo's letter writing, it was malafide. It was in bad faith. He asked.
That's your opinion, Barrister Adams Liu.
Okay, now he told him not to contest.
Yes.
Which is unconstitutional.
Yes.
Section 65. ABC says to contest, you must be such and such years old, must be a citizen of Nigeria, must be fielded by a political party, and be educated of his own certificate.
Okay.
Any Nigerian who has this particular country.
Is that why you said it's in bad faith?
Yes, to say he shouldn't contest at all. What you should do, keep your ballot paper, don't vote for him.
Okay.
Anybody among one
Okay.
in Nigeria can contest.
Let's have this call. Good morning, caller. Hello, caller. Hello, good morning. Yes, good morning. Please turn down the audio level on your television set. Good morning. Hello, caller. Good morning. Well, the line is jammed, as you should expect, but let's see if we can get a call through. Hello, caller. Good morning. Your name, where you're calling from, and then go ahead with your contribution. Hello, good morning. Okay, let me come back to Harrison. I'll be back with you, Barrister Adams Liu. Yeah, the latest one now, there's a denial around it, but we saw Kazim in the sister station saying that the general authorized him to make that press statement.
What, you see, first
okay,
of
just a
all,
moment. Hello, caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello?
We can barely hear you. We can barely hear you. Could you just speak up a little bit?
Hello, can you hear me?
Just go ahead. Let's hear how far we can go with your contribution. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Okay, we can't hear what you're saying. We really can't hear what you're saying. Harrison, just go ahead, please. Yeah.
you see, first of all, is there the character of IBB to do a letter of this level? We know in this country that President Olusegun Obasanjo, after he had left power, there is no, he brought in the Yar'Adua, and even before Yar'Adua and all, they started raising the issue. In Jonathan administration, I think he wrote up to about 2, so he's used to it, and it had become a subject of ridicule.
But I wanted us to zero in on the new.
So this new one,
yes.
if Kazim is saying that it is at the authority of his master, IBB, that he did that letter, and the man who sent him saying he did not send him, I think we should be working with the man who said I did not send him. That it may.
But is there any historical background that Kazim has written, such has authored
Kazim on his own cannot also, the little I know about him,
yes,
cannot just wake up, barely to know there's an APC member, cannot just wake up and do such like that. Maybe politics trying to come aboard. Okay. But since the man is saying that he did not send him again, where will we live at that level? But the content of the letter is also narrowed down and he should not contest.
Okay.
Like our barrister said, just he had the right to contest or second tenor.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. That's right. Good morning, caller. Hello, caller. Good morning. Good morning. You're live on the program this morning on ITV. Let us know where you're calling us from. Hello, caller. 052290573. That's the studio line. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Omo.
Where's,
From Ekenwari.
yes, Omo, just turn down your audio level to remove the echo so we can hear you. Turn down the audio level.
About Buhari, about Obasanjo trying to tell who to contest or who not to contest is the matter.
Yeah.
The issue of ground is that we, the youth, want to be part of the government, and these old people should give us the time to do that.
Okay.
They should encourage us. Obasanjo, Buhari, Babangida, everybody you're talking about are all old men. They should talk about how to bring the youth into this politics. They should talk about how to bring the youth into the government, and that's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right, Omo from Ekenwari, thank you for your contribution. Well, one thing is certain, all of the people you mentioned, they also have a constitutional right to be voted for and to vote for others. So we can't take that right away from there. Our caller, next caller is live on the program. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from, then go ahead with your contribution. Hello, good morning. It's TMI Monday. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Please turn down the audio level on your TV set to remove the echo.
Okay, yeah, this is Osas calling from Ekenwari, Benin City.
Okay, Osas, go ahead. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Please turn down the audio level on your TV set.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead. What's your name?
My name is Osai. I'm calling from Ofiso.
Go ahead.
Please, I ready to tell the people, the country of this our country, this Nigeria, that they should give the second chance to President Buhari
Okay.
for him to rule back again because it's written in Nigeria Constitution.
Okay.
They have to contest it twice. So the rest president, they contest twice. So let's just give him a chance to contest again. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution, caller. Of course, you heard what he said, but let's hear what our next caller will say. Good morning, caller. Tell us your name, where you're calling from, and then go ahead with your contribution. Hello, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Umowe.
Yes, go ahead. Just go ahead. We lost that call. Hope the caller can get back to us. Our next caller is on. Good morning. Hello, caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Osas, calling from Dubai.
Okay. Can you turn down the audio level on your television to remove the echo? Go ahead. Can you turn down the audio level on your television to remove the echo? Okay, our studio line is still open. Dial it now while you have the time to do so, and let's hear your contribution. Good morning. Hello, good morning, caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Ekenwari Barracks.
All right, go ahead with your contribution.
I'm seeing you are taking to me, sir.
Hello?
I say I'm seeing you now. I see you now. I'm taking to you. I'm seeing you physically.
Okay, I'm trying to make sense of what you're saying. The studio line is 052-290-5730. Please dial it and let's get your views, your take on all that we looked at. Hello, good morning. Hello, caller, good morning. Well, it looks like that's much time will permit us to take on this segment of discussion. Harrison, I'm back to you.
Yeah, like I said, he's in the character of IBB because over the years we have not seen him in that light. And of course, the media head who said it was directed by IBB to do the letter, I've also come out to say he sent him.
Yeah.
Now there are some level of imbalance between the two statements. Let's assume that either politics is playing out or somebody is trying to give a bad name to the dog. Having said that, the content of the letter too, we're also trying to narrow down to the level that is where we need digital people to take
Leadership,
over
yeah.
leadership, and
Yeah.
they cannot get about.
Yeah.
Like the law is very clear that the incumbent president have a legal stand, they have a right to contest election again. You cannot be sworn to vote twice. And so you have only done one. So if you want to contest again, you have the right. Those who don't want him to contest, those who feel he's too old, they should go and prepare themselves. During the election, they should go and use their voter's card to do the needful. So that at the end of the day, they know that they've satisfied their conscience. But for you to not say that the man should not just go because of his age, you are trying to intrude on his rights. So I think he should be given the level to go.
Okay.
Therefore, Obasanjo, who have become a letter and elder statesman called himself,
yes,
we have so much respect for him. But let me make it clear that Obasanjo do not have the local standing to criticize any sitting president.
That's even not the focus of this.
Yeah, the content of the letter is cool. I'm happy about it. I want the current administration to look at the content of that letter and do adjustment. Yes, he have said so many things that is happening in this country. But the way Amanda went about it, it's just like a man. You were someone before the Oba of Benin. Your friends follow you down. In the presence of the Oba of Benin, your friend is advising you. If I tell you that maybe they do this thing again, and you still do one, and you think you're helping the person, then the king will say, okay, even somebody will be about, you still do it, and he will punish you more.
Okay,
that is the statement of that letter. It's just want to create distraction, and I don't think it's good. It's not healthy for the
open up a line in this conversation. By Adam Saleh, I'm coming to you, which is that there's been a feeling that many elder statesmen have been too quiet over the issues raging in the country. I don't know what you guys make of these, particularly with all the happenings in the country. Don't you think we need more elder statesmen to speak out? It may not necessarily be to criticize the government, but even if that becomes what is needed, provided the right thing is done, there is equity, there is fairness, there is justice, the killings in different parts of the country is brought to a halt. I don't know what you make of this, Bryce Adams Ali.
Well, in a democracy, participatory and representative democracy, there must be few who command and many who obey. So all of us cannot be speaking like the Tower of Babel, all of us to be speaking at the same time. For the older ones, which you made allusion to, that they are not coming out to talk. Maybe you are referring to the killings, like herdsmen and all that. So different people are speaking, and we have to always be guided by the Constitution. And majority, when majority takes a decision, minority will have to obey. So, and the elder ones are supposed to have many followers, at least their dependents. So we are being guided. We are getting many contributions. For the inferences made about age, we have to wait for the Constitution to be amended. Whereas the Constitution has the minimum age to be a governor 35, to be a president 40, Constitution does not have an age limit to contest elections. It's not written there. So, and if it's not written there, no one should be subjective to put an age limit by itself. Next time we are amending the Constitution, we will try to incorporate it there that to be eligible to hold such a position, you have to be between age A and B.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen, for your time with us on the program this morning on ITV. We call it TMI. We hope you enjoyed it while it lasted. Well, many, I believe, tried to contribute to the conversation, but the line, for one reason or the other, wasn't just coming out as it ought to. But we commend you all the same. We thank you for your commitment to the program.
Independent television is live 24 hours, or you can watch from any part of the world on Roku TV for your favorite programs, news, current affairs, and lots more. You don't want to miss our objective and balanced reportage, entertainment, and sport. Watch ITV from any part of the world on Roku Box channel, buy your box online, or at Curry PC World, Mapling's store. To be in tune with happenings at home, stay glued to ITV on Roku TV. For advert placements and other inquiries, contact the following numbers: +447 946 720 668, +234 805 563 8573. Independent television, certainly the best.